Right now at noon, a tractor trailer carrying 30,000 pounds of coffee creamer overturns near Seneca.
And after some foggy conditions this morning, skies clearing out, things looking good, temperatures warming up. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a special community dinner in Neosho brings hundreds of people together on Christmas Day, serving up much more than just a meal.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A tractor trailer overturns in Seneca, Missouri, carrying 30,000 pounds of coffee creamer. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Samantha Walker. Late last night, authorities responded to reports of the rollover on Missouri 43. The vehicle dropped tires off the right side and overturned when trying to get back on the road. The driver was not injured, and Missouri 43 was closed for several hours. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, and again, we've got those skies clearing out. We had that patchy fog this morning. Once it rolled into the Pittsburgh area, you couldn't see downtown, but what a difference a few hours makes. It's pretty sunny out there, clear skies, just a passing cloud here or there. This is what we talked about this morning. We started at 61 yesterday and made it up to 79, so nowhere near normal. And we did break that record high in Joplin set back in 2016 of 72. So we certainly beat that, and we are on track for another warm day. And we could, in some locations, especially down south, get close to or potentially break some more records out there. We've got low mid 60s up north, and as you dive further south, we start getting into the upper 60s and some low 70s out there. Neosho and Jay, the warmer spots at 71. It looks like Iola is the cooler spot right now at 63. But either way you paint it, we are well above average. Now heading into the rest of the evening, again, clear to mostly clear skies, low 60s by 7, falling back into the mid 50s as we get a little closer to 10, 11 o'clock tonight. We'll start going partly cloudy as well. We'll have the winds pick up just a wee bit out of the south at about 5 to 10. Base temperatures will then level out right around the mid 50s for most of us out there. We are going to take another look at your forecast. We're so excited about it. We're going to get into it very quickly and break down some details. Big changes on the way for the weekend. That's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Well, as families gathered across the 4 states to celebrate Christmas, a special community dinner in Neosho brings together hundreds of people on Christmas Day, serving up more than just a meal. It's a heartfelt tradition of giving and support. Blake Oley has all the tasty details.
As families across the 4 states gathered to celebrate Christmas, residents in and around Neosho came together for a Christmas Day community dinner.
We need to remember what Christmas is about. We're servants. We're supposed to serve one another. We're supposed to help other people. I mean, the presents are fine, but what's the present about? It's about giving. And so here we are giving to the community, helping people out that they don't have anywhere to go this Christmas.
Behind every plate served, it's months of preparation. Organizers say planning begins 3 weeks after Christmas, and it takes a village of volunteers to ensure this Christmas dinner happens each year.
Here in 3 weeks, we'll have the organizational meeting where all these people now come together. We have a meal, we sit down, and we plan for next year. There's a lot of folks that just walk in the door and bring their families and said, hey, we've had our Christmas, how can we help?
For the Henry family, opening gifts on Christmas Eve is tradition, but so is giving back, volunteering at the community Christmas dinner year after year.
Every year for the past probably 7 years, my family's been volunteering here on Christmas Day just to serve those in the community. We see a lot of homebound people that are lonely, a lot of people that have lost their loved ones that spend the holidays with me, so it's very important for us.
A day of giving back, one plate at a time. Reporting in Neosho, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
The Community Christmas has now been serving Neosho for 25 years, and organizers say they plan to keep the tradition going for years to come. In addition to dining in, volunteers delivered more than 250 meals. Well, the unusually warm Christmas day brought people outdoors to enjoy the park in Pittsburgh. While we're used to bundling up for some outdoor time, some didn't see the need for a coat yesterday. Visitors to Schlanger and Lakeside Park said the mild weather made it easier to stop, stretch their legs, and spend the time outside. Yes, some people would prefer a white Christmas, myself included, but their folks saw the warmth as a welcome change, allowing them to walk their dogs and enjoy the park.
Great. I'm from Texas, so this weather is like home. So coming up here and being able to wear a tank top and take my dog to the dog park is awesome, especially because we're still on the road, so we have a few more hours, but with the warm weather, it's great to just be able to go outside for a bit.
Well, despite missing the traditional snowy scenes, the warm weather made the day more flexible and enjoyable for some. Well, the restaurant business is tough and competitive, but in Tulsa, Oklahoma, two friends have run their barbecue business for decades in harmony. Bailey Coyle has the story.
Love for one another.
In 1993, Alameda Hill Stutz opened Stutz Barbecue on Apache. Just 6 months later, longtime friend Maddie Bledsoe Hayes opened Oklahoma-style barbecue on Harvard. From the beginning, the women shared more than a passion for barbecue.
We have a long history. I worked with my aunt and uncle at Pete's Barbecue, and she worked at Wilson's Barbecue. And so we come a long ways together. We've never been competitors, never.
Earlier this year, Stutz saw a drop in business after city street construction directly outside Stutz House of Barbecue started.
After they started working, our lunch hour just went flat. You know, you get a few people come in. I had people complaining they couldn't see how to get in here. Of course, I lost a lot of business.
When Hayes saw what was happening, it hit close to home.
Well, 1995, they came in and redone Harvard. And when they done Harvard, people couldn't get to me. I lost a lot of business.
Remembering her own struggle, Hayes decided to start a GoFundMe, hoping to help Stutz recover lost income and keep a North Tulsa legacy alive.
I didn't tell her what I was doing, but we got a picture. And then I went back and I thought about, I don't know how to do a GoFundMe, but this would be nice if I could do a GoFundMe to try to get her in. My heart was really touched, and I couldn't believe it.
For Stutz, this is about more than money. At 84 years old, she still comes in every day greeted by familiar faces in a community she loves.
I want to be able to stay open so that people that come here as strangers and leave as friends, they can continue to do that.
Well, coming up, President Trump announces that the U.S. launched, quote, powerful and deadly strikes against Islamic State forces in Nigeria. And later, we're making an old-fashioned ham and cheddar spread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. There are questions this morning after President Trump announced that the U.S. launched, quote, powerful and deadly strikes against Islamic State forces in Nigeria Thursday. Plus, there is this new sign that negotiations to end the war in Ukraine are intensifying. Olivia Rinaldi is at the White House with more.
Defense Department video shows what it says was a U.S. missile launch on Islamic State forces in Nigeria late Thursday. President Trump said on social media there were, quote, numerous perfect strikes against what he called ISIS terrorist scum who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said there's, quote, more to come. Video from northwest Nigeria appears to show locals holding metal debris with a fire burning in the background. President Trump did not offer additional details about the operation, including casualties or what was specifically targeted. Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell told CNN she wants a lot more information.
What are his plans? I believe under the War Powers Act, he needs to be coming to Congress. He needs to be talking to Congress.
The military action in Nigeria comes amid new movement to end Russia's nearly 4-year-old war in Ukraine. On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters he'll likely meet with President Trump in Florida on Sunday. He said there's a broad agenda, including security guarantees for Ukraine, with that 20-point plan under discussion about 90% ready. Zelensky's announcement came after he said he had a good conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on Christmas. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, the White House.
Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We've got an old-fashioned idea to turn holiday leftovers into something totally new. Stick around to see how easy it is.
And we're tracking some big changes as we head into this weekend. A big temperature drop on the way as well. Details when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on this finally Friday in the 4 states on what's been a very long weekend for some, and for others, depending on the shopping and the last minute planning, maybe just a long week in general. And we're wrapping up on a pretty good note, a well above average note. We got sunshine from downtown Pittsburgh, where again this morning couldn't see anything in downtown Pittsburgh for a little bit after 7 o'clock. Fog is cleared out. We're looking good. Future track today looks good. And that's why, again, even this morning, didn't focus too much on Friday today because, well, there's not too much to worry about. It's into the weekend. We start to gradually see some changes, and by Sunday, we have some big changes. And we're going to take time to go over those. First, overnight tonight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, and eventually after midnight, winds will shift out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. However, as we go a little later into Saturday, clouds will continue to increase. Winds will increase as well, gusting occasionally upwards of 30 or 25 to maybe 30 miles an hour out there. That's going to help bring in warmer air. In fact, we're expecting to be a bit warmer tomorrow than what we are going to be today. Not by a lot, but a little bit. And you can see in the evening, we get some isolated showers and perhaps a thunderstorm or two, but we're not expecting anything too crazy or too widespread across the area for Saturday. Now we go into Saturday night into Sunday. Clouds thickening up more so. Gusty south winds continue, and so the temperatures Saturday night into Sunday, very mild. We're looking at lows into the 60s, so a very mild evening out there. Now we go into Sunday, an isolated sprinkle or two maybe in the morning. Our better chances are going to come into the late morning, early afternoon. We have this cold front, and by noon we're talking Stockton, Lamar, Pittsburgh, back down toward Parsons, Coffeyville, roughly in this zone here where that wind shift line is. That's where we're going to start to see the temperatures change. Ahead of it, winds will be up out of the southwest. Behind it, they'll be out of the northwest. And we'll start to get some showers and perhaps a thunderstorm or two. So here's what we are looking at. By 3, cold front sinks to our southeast, but it kind of sits there for a minute. And that allows these showers and thunderstorms to catch up with it. When they develop a little too far behind, not much concern there. But as they get a little closer to the front, you can see them picking up a bit. We could get an isolated strong storm or two. We do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for stronger storms, just barely clipping eastern Barry and Lawrence counties. If that changes through the weekend, obviously we'll let you know. It's on what we call day 3, so the day 3 outlook doesn't get updated more than once a day. So we'll know more as we head into the weekend, especially tomorrow, if there's going to be any changes. And if there are, we're not overly concerned at this point with any kind of significant severe weather, but you do see that these storms out there are a little closer to the front, along and south of I-44. They may get a little more organized. Even if they don't get stronger, this is just going to be our better window for some showers and storms. Temperatures drop pretty quickly, though, behind this front. And look at what happens to those showers and storms. Now it's turned pink. Pink falls here. Mixed is the sleet and snow kind of thing. And you're going to see more of that as we go into the overnight hours, heading into early Monday, before it eventually clears on out. Now, I know it looks like that may dump a lot. Still, at this point, not looking at anything significant in terms of accumulations from wintry weather heading into Sunday night into early Monday. Our biggest concern is going to be with the temperature drop behind the front and how cold it's going to be as we start our Monday. That slick spots over a broad region, especially from that frontal zone down to the southeast, could cause a few hazardous traveling conditions. That's why we want to keep a close eye on it. If you're going back to work Monday, you want to make sure that you're preparing for maybe a longer commute or preparing to potentially leave earlier, or in some cases, while not likely, if you can work from home, it might be a little better that way as well. So it's something we want to watch. Again, not worried about a winter storm by any means, but we want to keep an eye on that because, again, those slick spots could certainly cause a few problems for us out there as we head again late Sunday into Monday. So again, low 70s today, mid 70s on Saturday, early highs Sunday ahead of the front, upper 60s, low 70s, temperatures dropping to the 30s by the late afternoon into the evening, down to the 20s overnight. Only about 32 on Monday and 42 on Tuesday, so well below normal, but it's brief. And temperatures start warming right back up again. Not as much, but back above average in the low to mid 50s through the rest of next week. But really, again, just the road conditions we want to keep a close eye on Sunday into Monday. Not enough maybe to cancel school, just enough to make it a little slick out there.
Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making old-fashioned ham and cheddar spread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Here's today's Mr. Food.
Christmas may be over, but there's still plenty of family and friends hanging around the house. And if your gang is like mine, it seems like they're always looking for something to eat. Like we never feed them. So today, we've got a way to turn yesterday's leftovers into the best sandwich spread ever. And it's done in minutes. We start by cutting up some leftover ham. The idea is to make it small enough to fit in a food processor. And if you don't have ham, you can use leftover turkey or chicken or even a goose. Now to this, we add some onion, shredded cheddar cheese, mayo, sweet pickle relish, just make sure you drain it really well, a bit of mustard, and a touch of black pepper. The top goes on, and we pulse it until everything is mixed. We can leave it a little chunky, or we can let it go a little longer if we want it really smooth. That's it. No cooking, no waiting. I told you it was easy. Serve it up as a snack with crackers and fresh veggies, or load it up on a roll or pita for the ultimate sandwich. However you serve it, everyone's gonna love it. The recipe for our old-fashioned ham and cheese spread is online now, so you can turn holiday leftovers into something new and exciting. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier way, like using up leftovers, for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, low 70s today, mid 70s tomorrow, breezy, maybe an isolated shower storm, a few more scattered storms, maybe a brief wintry mix on the backside of everything Sunday, temperatures dropping. So biggest concern again, the slick spots on roadways from Sunday night into Monday with people heading back to work. You just want to be prepared out there.
Definitely something to watch. Thanks, Chris. Well, coming up tonight at 5, you've maybe heard your parents or grandparents talking about the card game Bridge. While its popularity has declined since it peaked in the 40s, it's still a game played by millions. We meet some enthusiastic players keeping the game alive. Plus, with the presents all unwrapped, the holidays bring extra trash. How trash companies make it work. And we'll be live at the Glide in Fort Scott, the city's synthetic skating rink, where even warm temperatures aren't stopping winter activities. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. Have a great afternoon.